Mm-mm-mm. Another day, another frustration from the evil fruit company. This is getting really, really old, I gotta say. They promised that today, October 17th, that my phone would be back out of recovery, but I am so unhappy to report that that is certainly not the case. It's still in Apple jail. There's no end in sight. Uh, they told me I couldn't even go to an Apple store and get it fixed. Right now, they're telling me there's almost nothing they can do. And it's really frustrating because I really thought at this point I would have had my phone back. But anyway, I've got the StreamYard Premium so I can do these web, cam things, these live streams. I hate them. I don't like doing them. You guys are encouraging, but it's just, I'm not happy. I am not happy at all. I thought by this point today, I'd have my phone and we could be actually doing some real content on the Prog Corner like the good old days, where I'd actually have episodes put together and ideas. And I got nothing, man. I got this 15-year-old desktop with this horrible camera, and I'm doing the best I can. Apple wants to shut the Prog Corner down. I am not going to let that happen. Absolutely not. I love you guys for sticking with me through all of this, but I am not a happy man at all today. I wasn't even going to get on here because I don't like getting on while I'm in a rotten mood and I'm not feeling a certain kind of way. I'm feeling all kinds of things here this morning and I'm not happy about it at all. It's just disgusting how they can do that to you. They try to make sure that your whole life depends on that one device, and then they take it away from you for what? I didn't do anything wrong. I was on the phone for 3 hours this morning with Apple. And at the end of which I'm like, can I just take my phone? It's like 2 hours to an Apple store. I can drive to an Apple store if I have to. I said that wouldn't work either because they would just end up calling us. So it's just a disaster. I've got so many episode ideas built up. I got this notebook full of ideas that I want to do here on this channel, and I can't do any of it at this point because Apple is just not allowing it. Yeah, this StreamYard stuff is good. It can keep me, doing something on the channel at least, but it is killing the Prog Corner. It absolutely is. The numbers aren't where they need to be. And how could they be? The content isn't nearly as good as it should be. So at some point, the YouTube algorithm is going to be looking at the Prog Corner and saying, yeah, this is a worthless channel. We don't need to be, recommending his videos anymore. And why would they? Ever since they took my phone away, this channel has been absolute crap. I apologize. I wouldn't watch this channel at all in its present state, but I got no choice. I got no options here. So I just got to do my best. And anyway, I'm just really super frustrated today. Really super frustrated. I'm upset. I guess I just need to get on here and vent a little bit. I put a link up there if anybody wants to get up here and, misery loves company loves misery. So come on, if you want to get on up here and commiserate a little bit, that's fine. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to vent because I'm feeling really salty. And you guys are used to seeing me, in a real positive and upbeat and uplifting way. I don't feel any of those things right now, man. I feel beat down. I feel defeated. I feel like somebody's really messing with me, man. I just, these are first world problems. I get it. I understand. In the grand scheme of things, not having your phone for 28 days isn't going to, do anything. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean anything at all, but it's sure messing with my head. So I am looking for direction. Let us assume that I do not have a phone for another 28 days, which was my other option was, well, you could put your phone back in recovery. It'll be ready in another 28 days. I didn't see that as really being an option at all. I mean, hey, she told me the good news. Hey, your phone's not in recovery right now. Fantastic. We just sent you we just sent you a text message. Yeah, a text message to a phone that doesn't work. A text message to a phone that says blocked to owner. How am I supposed to retrieve that text message? Oh, their idea was, well, take your SIM card out and put it in your wife's phone. This is what started the whole thing. I am not going to destroy my wife's phone, put her phone into recovery for 28 days just to try to get my phone back. It's ridiculous. Jimmy Swartz is here. He just found my channel and he loves it. I don't know why you'd be loving this channel these days. The last 28 days, the Prog Corner has been absolute garbage. And I'm really upset about it. I am a prideful guy. You know, I pride myself. I'm trying to do the best I can with what I got. You know, I'm a poor guy, so I don't have a whole bunch of money, but I did go out and buy some good lights. And right before my phone came into recovery, I actually bought some video editing software. So I was all set to kind of take the Prog Corner to the next level. And then we get slammed with this. It's not right. I'm really upset about it. Charles Bannister is here. Thank you, Charles. One of my great members in the Connoisseur Club. He's got a special video coming. I was actually going to start working on it today, Charles. But, you know, the Evil Fruit Company is not allowing it. Yeah, Charles has requested that I do a review of one of his wife's favorite albums, Bongo Fury from Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart. So I am going to do that. I've been listening to it. I don't want to do it on a live stream. I really want to do like a regular type of episode, whatever. Hey, it's Sam St. John in the house. How are you, sir? Yeah, I've been watching your videos. Great channel. If you people do not know the great Sam St. John, check him out. He's awesome. But as you can see on the plus side in my life, yeah, my boys got me a shirt. Yeah, the Evership has definitely set sail, and I'm a big fan, as you guys know. Yeah, also you'll see where is it? Oh, yeah. I finally picked up the Evership on vinyl, so that was pretty exciting. It's a double album. I wish that all 4 of their albums were available on vinyl, but I'm just greedy, and I like it like that. My wife bought some vinyl over the weekend, so I'm pretty happy about that. She's a big fan of that Canadian cartoon duo Prozac. I don't know if you guys remember that. Sucks to be you and www.nevergetoveryou. So she actually found their first album on vinyl. So that kind of opened the floodgates. So I'm like, well, if you're ordering that, I guess I need to order some vinyl. So I have some vinyl coming. Pretty excited about that because, like I've said, oh, Jeff Shilka's in the house. Yeah, we got a good team here. Sam St. John, Jimmy Swartz, Charles Bannister. We got the A-team going here for sure. Congratulations, Jeff, on being a 2-time winner over at the great Jim Newstead's channel. He had a really interesting video this morning I haven't watched yet. The great Jim Newstead has got a special guest on his channel. He's got the great Daily Doug with him. So I need to definitely watch that. That'll be great. 2 of the greatest YouTubers on the planet doing a little collab. So that'll be fun. I'm definitely going to watch that as soon as I'm done with this. But I guess I really just needed to come on the air and gripe a little bit and vent a little bit about my frustrations with Apple. Yeah, it's a 3-time winner. All right, Jeff, that's even better. But it's just been a really rough 28 days, man. I've been trying so hard to keep my spirits in place. Did we get the phone back? We did not get the phone back. Apple's playing games with me. I was on the phone with them for 3 hours this morning and no resolution whatsoever. Their a great attempt at getting my phone back was by sending me a text message with a code, a text message to a phone that doesn't work. I thought you people were supposed to be smart, man. You know, how do you expect to get a text message from a phone that's blocked to owner? It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense at all. When I told them 4 weeks ago, you need to send that recovery code to this phone. I gave them my wife's phone number. They didn't send nothing. So I called them up and started bitching and moaning, and all to no avail. Their only suggestion was for me to pull that SIM card out and put it in my wife's phone. I'm not going to do that. That's what started this whole thing. So what? I'm going to go from 2 phones to 0 phones if I do that. My wife's phone's the only thing I got. We don't have a landline. Do you guys have landlines? Nobody's got a landline anymore. It's just ridiculous. It's just insane. So what they're telling me I need to do is find an old phone. So I've been going around all day looking for old phones, old iPhones. I can't find any. So I called my wife at the shop she's working, and I'm like, where are all our old phones? Oh, I think I gave them to mom. So now her mom is having to go home and try to find an old phone, an old iPhone, so that I can pull the SIM card out of this one, put it in that one, all to retrieve a code that they sent to that phone. Why they sent it to that phone, which was locked anyway, is just beyond me. There's no other workaround. I'm like, why don't you just send me another code to a different phone? Send me that code to my email. I can pull my email up at the desktop. Just doesn't make any sense. What do you think about that, Mark Spooner? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. I try to keep my spirits up. I try to stay positive. Life is hard, man. Life is really upset. And hopefully these little trials and tribulations that I've been going through, maybe it can make your day just a little bit better by comparison. Yeah, Sam, I should be an Android man, but I married into an Apple family. I was a PC guy, a Samsung guy, an Android guy until I moved up here, married the wife, and yeah, her whole family is Apple. The whole company is Apple. Every single device in my world is Apple, except this here desktop. And wouldn't you know it, it's the only thing I can count on is a 20-year-old desktop, with some 360p webcam built into it and a god-awful microphone. It's just terrible. This is what I've been reduced to. It makes me think of Interview with a Vampire, and Tom Cruise's character is he's just brought to his knees, and he's having to eat rats and stuff like that. The great and powerful used to, be eating people. Now he's eating rats. Well, that's me. I'm eating rats here today. I'm eating rats. It's terrible. Yeah, my wife is a Mac person, but I never and will never rely on using Macs. Yeah, you're a wiser man than me. I put my faith in the evil fruit company, and that was a really big mistake. I shouldn't have done that. That was dumb on my part. I'm going to send another link out in case any of you fools want to join the party here. Let's see here. I don't care. It's been that kind of day. I need some company up here, to commiserate a little bit, but it's just not been a great day because this whole thing happened. I was in the middle of the 100 greatest album covers of all time, chosen by you, ranked by me. And of course, I got 3 episodes in, and then this all happened. So we are waiting for the top 25 greatest prog rock album covers of all time. And I can't do that without some kind of editing software. The whole idea is to look at the album cover, and I don't have any way to put album covers up. I guess I could, do like a split screen here and pull up a web image. It'd just be ridiculous. It'd be terrible. I don't want to do it. I just don't. So we've been waiting 4 weeks to wrap up that series. Charles Bannister. We're waiting on this thing so I can do his episode. I promised him I'd do it, and I am going to do it because I want to take really good care of anybody that joins the Connoisseur Club with the Prog Corner. The whole idea there is there's not that many people in the Prog Corner Connoisseur Club, so you can have direct access to me. You can tell me what to do. You can push me around. You can tell me, hey, dude, you need to review this one, or don't review that one, whatever. I will be your slave. That's the whole idea. Naomi, 365 Days of Prog is here. Welcome. Thank you. This is like the misery circle today, where I'm just gathering my friends together so that I can just commiserate a little bit. And listen to this. I'm losing my voice. I was screaming and yelling at the Apple people all morning. How do I lose my voice? That's just ridiculous. That's not going to work. They are messing with me so much in little ways, little psychological ways, but I'm not going to let them win. I am not going to let Apple defeat me. I am not going to let the evil fruit company bring the Prog Corner down. Thanks to you guys. At least I have a little bit of an outlet here with the webcam and the live streaming. Yeah, I've been making some applesauce here. The apple bashing will continue unabated. Those fools were dumb enough to send me a survey after I got off the phone with them via my email, which I can get. You see, they're smart when they want to be, but when it comes to giving you a code to get your phone back, they send it to a phone that's not working. That really makes a whole lot of sense. But yeah, they sent me a survey on my email, which is miamiscott@hotmail. That's the best way to get a hold of me if you guys ever want to. James Hoey, big hello from Ireland. How are you, sir? Doing a lot better than me. Yeah, Apple is a predatory company, Mark. They most certainly are. At one point, I guess Ireland was supposed to be their world headquarters for tax reasons, and they had some land out there. I guess they had a shack on some, 50-acre parcel of land there, and not a single person working there. They're a joke. They're disgusting. They make me sick. But yeah, they sent me a survey. How was your service? How happy are you with Apple products and the service you've been receiving? Oh, that was a fun survey. Yeah, I kind of was able to let it all hang out there, and they made the big mistake of having a little survey, like a section at the end where you could actually write down your feelings, and that was probably not a good idea because I let them have it pretty good. Jeff Shilka, another fork in the road. Yeah, new Kansas is going to be very interesting. Now that what's his name is out of the band. What's his name? God, I can't remember his name though. He's the primary songwriter for Kansas now. He's no longer in the band, but they got Tom Brislin in the band. He's a great songwriter, so that should be good. But yeah, Kansas is awesome. I love them. As you can see, we got Point of No Return up on the wall of greatness, as it should be. Yeah, I need to really dive into that a little bit. But, another thing that's been, really put on hold because of all this BS from Apple is, I listen to music on my phone. When I'm driving around at work, I'm a salesman. So I go from door to door, store to store, selling my stuff, whatever. And I listen to music in my car. On my phone. I've been reduced to having to burn CDs. It's just ridiculous. I mean, the last album review I did, I had to burn a CD of it to even listen to it. It's so 1994. It's just so frustrating. I did not see the Bowie doc. Charles, I need to see that, don't I? I love Bowie. And somebody's going to see Adrian Belew. Speaking of the Bowie connection, very, very cool. I love Adrian Belew. I have not heard his new album, Elevator. I've been meaning to check it out. Big fan. I've been a big fan of his since Lone Rhino came out. Obviously, I knew who he was via David Bowie and Talking Heads. But yeah, as soon as he started doing his solo stuff, I understood exactly why guys like Frank Zappa and David Bowie and Robert Fripp wanted him around. He's just incredible. What a talent. Awesome. And he's from my neck of the woods too. He's an Ohio boy, Northern Kentucky boy. So, we love Adrian Belew. I wish I was going to see him, but I think the next show I'll be going to more than likely will be December in Akron, going to see Carl Palmer. That would be pretty cool. ICL, I met Belew in Toronto back in the 80s. That would have been pretty cool. I hear he's a really nice guy. I hear he's a very polite guy. I hear he's got that Southern gentleman vibe going. I've also heard that Adrian Belew has photographic memory. which might be really helpful when A, you don't read music, and B, you're playing with Frank Zappa. I would think that kind of memory would probably come in handy. I've always loved his guitar playing. His singing is a little different, takes a little getting used to, but Adrian Belew, just fantastic. I love him. But yeah, so like I was saying, I've got all these different things planned, all these ideas. I can't do any of them now. Thank you, Apple. Yeah. ICL met him at a Bears show. The Bears. I love both of those albums. The first one just called The Bears. The second one was Rise and Shine, had the Japanese flag on the front cover. I got them both on vinyl. I could pull them up, but that would mean an empty screen, and that would mean a lot of eyeballs would disappear because people come on the Prog Corner. They want to see this mug for some unknown reason. I don't understand it. Frank taught Adrian to read music. I did not know that. I thought Adrian was still in the dark as far as being able to read music. But yeah, John Anderson and the Band Geeks. Man, oh man. I don't know if you guys have seen the promo video for this. It was very cool seeing John with the kiddies, the Paul Green School of Rock stuff that he was doing. And he had some pretty good players on that tour watching those videos. But the Band Geeks, man, those guys are incredible. They do so many Yes covers, and they do them at such an incredibly high level. And seeing that promo video that John Anderson just dropped last week of him singing in front of those Band Geek guys, it's going to be a good show, man. Definitely. What's going on, Zach? Did you know Yes was working on a new album? Yes, I did. I heard Steve Howe talking a couple days ago that it's about half done. The writing's mostly done. I guess it really helps that John Davison spends a lot of time in the UK. I think he's dating John Lodge's daughter, so that puts him in the UK a lot. And I think that John Davison, Steve Howe's songwriting team could actually turn into something special, because I do like a lot of the songs on The Quest. But more importantly, I really like that Steve Howe solo album, Love Is, where John and Steve collaborate a little bit. And it's some pretty good stuff. No one's ever going to confuse this version of Yes with the, Close to the Edge and Tales from Topographic Oceans and Relayer. Probably not. But, if they're going to put out records kind of like The Quest, I'm going to stay with them. Steve Howe's my boy. I'll always be loyal to Steve. But I love John, and maybe someday John Anderson and Steve Howe can kiss and make up. That'd be amazing. Yeah, Woo Bino not listening to current Yes. I get it. I understand. It's a whole different animal. But I do like The Quest. I think it's pretty good. Heaven and Earth, not so much. I like Subway Walls. I like the first song. A couple things in the middle were all right. But Fly From Here was actually pretty good. I like both versions, both the Benoit David and the John Davison versions. I think are really good. Howe has amazing spider-like fingers. He does. He still has it. Yeah, he's slowed down a little bit, and his sense of timing is a little weird right now. He seems to be playing behind the beat a lot these days. But, he's still Steve Howe, and he's still my guy. Yeah, without John Anderson, it's not Yes. I get it. There's that whole no John, no Yes contingent out there. I get it. I totally understand. But if you dive a little deeper into what was going on with the politics of the band back in 2004, and you'll realize that it was just a mess. This divorce was bound to happen. John got sick. He wasn't able to perform. Yes, had all these shows booked, so they had to do something, or else they were going to lose a ton of money. So they hired Benoit David, and they continued the tour. But John eventually got better, and he wanted back in. And unfortunately, he wanted half. Within the Yes camp, apparently Mr. Anderson is known these days as Mr. 50%. And that was not going to happen. I mean, Chris and Alan and Steve were not going to take a back burner to anybody. And why should they? They were every bit as important to Yes as John was. I'm sorry. I love John. Yes, would be so much better with him in the band, obviously, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. Um, so Steve Howe is awesome, but you're right. John Anderson is the voice of the Yes. He absolutely is. Maybe someday we'll get it. We'll get a little mini reunion. They're not getting any younger, so it really needs to happen soon. Shoot high, aim low. Yeah, that's my favorite song on Big Generator. I'm not a huge Big Generator fan, but I do like that song a lot. Yeah, I miss Chris. I miss Alan so much. I mean, I never met Chris. I met Alan a couple times, but I never met Chris. Yet the day he died remains probably one of the saddest days of my life. No, not probably. It really was. I mean, I look at the day I got arrested. I look at the day I got sent to prison. None of those compared to just how incredibly sad I was the day that Chris died. And I had never even met the man, but it impacted me greatly in 2015. And it still does. It still hurts. I love Chris so much. Yeah, sue me. Chris Squire's my guy. Years ago, John did a solo tour just by himself at a small venue. I remember those shows. Yeah, I heard those were pretty cool. His voice is still phenomenal. I saw ARW a couple times when they were a going concern. And then, you'd go to see Steve Howe's Yes, and then you'd see ARW, and you certainly would compare the two. But I absolutely enjoyed both shows. And the whole time I'm listening to each, I'm like, oh man, watching ARW, I'm like, man, I sure wish Steve Howe was in this band. And then watching Steve Howe's band, I'm like, man, I sure wish Rick and John were in this band. But, that's how it goes. When you've been in the music business as long as those guys have, you have the right to play with whomever you want to. If you don't want to play with Rick Wakeman, don't play with Rick Wakeman. He's a handful, he's not for everybody. It's a miracle that Yes has been as, together as long as they have, considering all the politics involved in that band. It's never been a pretty thing. It's always been ugly. This is a band that never had any problem stabbing a band member in the back just to get somebody in that seat that was maybe a little bit more proficient. And that's just the way it goes. Palmer and Anderson are still going strong. Yeah, they are. Yeah, you bet, James. That's a great album, isn't it? Rick Wakeman was all over the 70s scene. Charles mentions Elton John, absolutely. David Bowie, he was on a whole bunch of stuff. And if you look at all the stuff Bill Bruford was doing in the mid 70s, all the stuff that Wakeman was doing in the early 70s, you've got a whole bunch of great records right there, totally outside of the Yes camp. My favorite John vocal was on the Friends of Mr. Cairo, especially on the second slower half of the song. I get chills. I love Vangelis. I love all three albums they did together, John and Vangelis. The Friends of Mr. Cairo, probably the best of the three, but I really do enjoy it. Anything John sings. There's a handful of players that no matter what genre they're in, you're going to go see them play. And there's a handful of singers that no matter what they're doing, no matter what they're singing, I am interested. I am all in. David Bowie absolutely was one of those guys. Peter Gabriel, absolutely one of those guys. John Anderson, definitely one of those guys. And up until maybe a month ago, before news broke of Win Butler's seedy side, I would say Win Butler from Arcade Fire kind of scratched that itch for me also. Zach D, thoughts on a rumored Rush comeback? Yeah, there have been rumors ever since the professor died. I personally think it's an awesome idea. No one wants to hear Envy of None, okay? I love you, Alex, but I'm just not a fan. I didn't like that record at all. I know some people did, but you're seeing some Rush activity, with the South Park thing where Matt Stone sat with them and played. And then during the Taylor Hawkins tribute, you had who sat in on drums with Rush. I can't even remember. I watched that a couple weeks ago, but it certainly does feel like there's some momentum for some kind of Rush comeback. The question is who would fill that drum chair that the professor just totally dominated. Anderson was kicked out in 79 for the same problem. Sunfellow's giving us some knowledge here. he was running off with most of the money, and the rest knew they were just as important as anybody else in the band. It's in 2 books, Chris Welsh's book about Yes and Steve Howe's autobiography. I've read both of them, and you're absolutely right. That's exactly what happened. Danny Carey, thank you, Charles Bannister. It was Danny Carey. So, yeah, who would you want to sit on that drum kit in a re-envisioned, revitalized, rebooted Rush? Me personally, I want Mike Portnoy back there, but I'm really super biased in that direction. Is Billy Cobham available? Jennifer Allen's wondering where my top 25. Yeah, Jennifer. Still no phone. I have no video editing capability at this point in time. This old computer that I'm doing this live stream on, it can't handle it. It can't handle anything. It's an absolute ancient artifact from another time. So, whatever. It's gonna happen. Hopefully I'll be able to find some old decrepit iPhone in a drawer somewhere. And Apple's telling me that if I swap the SIM cards out, I can retrieve whatever code that they sent me, which why Apple would send me a code to a phone that's blocked again. It just makes no sense. But they're telling me that this is the only way I'll ever get my phone back is if I somehow, some way retrieve that email or that text that they sent me today. The phone isn't working, so I can't retrieve the email. It's like this vicious circle, man. It's just ridiculous. It's a catch-22, and it's making me ill. It really is, and that's part of why I had to come on here to maybe self-medicate a little bit. I find it a little cathartic sometimes. I can do a live version, Jennifer, but we're talking about album covers, man. I want to pop them up on the screen and talk about them. I can't do that without video editing. And I don't have all 25. If I had all 25 of the top 25, I would absolutely do it live, Jennifer. There's, I think, 2 I'm missing. One I've got a jigsaw puzzle of. I'm going to give away one of the top 25 right here. I've got 23 of the top 25 on vinyl. This is one I do not have, but I've got a jigsaw puzzle of it. There's a second one that I do not have on vinyl. So that's not good enough, man. I need all 25. If I had them all, I'd do it. It's just crazy. Woo Bino's currently self-medicating. Well, if you guys have been watching this channel long enough, you've probably figured out that some of this is not 100% organic, that maybe some of it might be, chemically originated or modified. Figured if you had all the albums, you would have done it. Exactly. It's that Harmonium album is the one that's holding me back. I really do need that. That one, the 5 Seasons, that Harmonium album with that amazing album cover. Obviously, I just gave away another album that's going to be in the top 25. But those are the 2 that I do not have on vinyl, so I can't do it live, Jennifer. Yeah, jigsaw of album covers. I got another one to show you. How about Iron Maiden jigsaw? Oh, I promised I wouldn't talk about Iron Maiden for a little while on the channel. We went a little heavy with Iron Maiden and Evership over the last couple days here. They were kind enough to send me a T-shirt when they sent me the vinyl, so I was really happy about that. I don't want to see it going for the one puzzle either, nor do I want to see a Rush Hemispheres. Yeah, that one puzzle piece with the butt cheek. That's the one I probably wouldn't want to put in place either. Oh, yeah. You just saw Harmonium bootleg at a record store. Oh, okay. Well, anything to do with Harmonium, I'm good with. I love that guy. Sergey's amazing, great songwriter. In fact, that album I didn't even like for a long, long time. I always saw it really highly ranked on Prog Archive, so I gave it a spin, and I bought the CD years ago, and I'm like, there are no drums on this thing. How can I listen to a record without drums? That it just didn't seem right. But over the years, I have learned to absolutely adore that record. It is great. Besides Rush, it's the greatest Canadian album ever. Okay, I'm gonna go look on the net. Yeah, you do need some album cover jigsaws. They're fun. Both of the ones I got are 500s. I actually I like the 300s. I like being done in like 20, 25 minutes. Oh, Charles is listening to Throbbing Gristle. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I love Throbbing Gristle. What a great band. What was that one album? They had 20 great jazz hits. They were so fun. And Winston O'Boogie picked up the Evership debut album. It is fantastic. I love it. I love all 4 of their albums. But yeah, the first one's the only one on vinyl. So had to definitely pick that up. Charles talking about Throbbing Gristle. What a guy, man. Are we going to talk about Throbbing Gristle or Cabaret Voltaire or any of that other weird stuff? Manuel disagrees. I actually consider Seventh Son of a Seventh Son to be Prog. I absolutely agree with you 100%. Psychic TV, yeah, that's another one. Genesis P. Orange and Crew, all that weird stuff at that time. I don't know. I kind of even throw a little bit of Crass into that mix. They were of that same type of just ridiculous, crazy stuff. But yeah, I am such a huge believer that Iron Maiden has been prog from day one. Their first album had that little bit of punk influence of that Paul Di'Anno stuff. But even buried into there, you had all kinds of counterpoint and stuff. Songs like Transylvania and Phantom of the Opera. That sounded like prog to me. Oh, Boogie's going to see Caravan this Friday. Oh, that'll be great. That'll be a great show. I love Caravan. Their new album's good. That box set was really cool. Somebody needs to gift me that for Christmas. That's for sure. That'd be awesome. Let me get a little bit of energy going here. I need some caffeine. It's just been one of those kind of days. And agree, Evership. Fab. Yeah, James, you betcha, man. That's what I do. As you guys know, I don't really review, anything that I don't 100% love. I don't have time for that. If something's fallen into the, 3-star category or whatever, I'm not going to waste my time, my breath, space on the prog corner that I could be talking about something I love even more. Because let's face it, for every album that I don't necessarily love, there's going to be 4 or 5 YouTubers out there that do. Let them cover that stuff. Really, I only talk about the stuff I really, really enjoy. So I don't really do album reviews. I kind of fall in the category of Nathan on Shuffle, where he says, I am a music recommender, not a music reviewer. I kind of like that idea. I kind of fall into that same category, if you want to know the truth. That's kind of why I stopped writing for the Fire Note. I was writing all these reviews for bands that I really didn't care about a whole lot. So I figured if I do the prog corner, I can just talk about what I want to talk about. And, who cares what promoters want? I get flooded with requests. Can you review this? Can you review that? And, I say yes to everything, but I know deep down inside the chance of me actually reviewing stuff is really, really low because I'm really, really lame. Death Heaven, I am a fan. I do like them, Charles. Their last couple albums are really cool, very shoegazy. The black metal is kind of falling away a little bit, and I'm getting a whole lot more My Bloody Valentine, but that's okay. You're talking about stuff I want to hear. Thank you, ICL. That's what we do here. That's all we do. I'm not going to waste your time. I try to listen to approximately 250 to 300 prog albums every year. That's been kind of the last 10 years, kind of the baseline, right around that. And then another like 150 or 200 non-prog. So the way I look at it is I try to listen to all the prog so you don't have to, I got a lot of time on my hands, so I can do it, especially when I have a phone, so I can actually listen to music while I'm working and while I'm falling asleep, none of which I can do right now. Just crazy. Yeah, I heard that Uriah Heep show was great. I hear this tour has been really, really solid. That Mick Box is just tearing it up. Big fan, and honestly, the last 2 or 3 Uriah Heep albums have been shockingly good. I mean, who saw that coming? I mean, on top of Deep Purple having a little late career renaissance, Styx having a little late career renaissance. It's really good to see. Oh, Charlie was listening to the Climax Blues Band. That's all right. You know, you don't have to apologize for that. I had Atlanta Rhythm section on earlier. So, you know, man cannot live on Prog alone, nor can woman, to Jennifer and Naomi and whoever else is out there of the female persuasion. We love you guys. But we are not just prog people. You know, prog is actually the amalgamation of all music, right? There is no genre of music that's not welcome to be put into the prog stew and stirred around. Absolutely. Cheap Trick, another good call, ICL. Cheap Trick's another band having a real great late career resurgence. We talked about Styx. There's something going on in Chicago, I guess, because absolutely great. What about Joe Strummer? I love Joe Strummer. I'm a big Clash guy. I love him so much. I remember I saw the Clash open for the Who in 1980. It was just a great show. I think I told the story about people getting all upset and throwing stuff on the stage. All the Who fans getting really disgruntled and upset. Oh, this is punk rock, man. I don't want to hear this punk rock. After about 2 or 3 songs, Pete Townsend comes out and tells the crowd, hey, man, you guys are being disrespectful to the greatest rock and roll band in the world. And I tell you, there was not another peep the rest of the night. Good for you, Pete Townsend. Not only did you have great taste in music, but you were also a really cool guy when it came to helping out that support act. That was a great show. I was able to go backstage and I got to talk to Joe Strummer a little bit. I did not meet anybody from the Who. They were kind of in their own bubble and whatnot, but the Clash people, they were very accessible. What an amazing band. Okay, Charlie, what are you saying? I got into Heap after listening to At War with the Mystics by the Flaming Lips. My friends said they sounded like Heap. They kind of sound a little like Heap. I am a huge Flaming Lips guy. I love Wayne Coyne. I think they're awesome. I like their early stuff, like Priest Driven Ambulance and Clouds Taste Metallic and that kind of stuff. But I also really like some of their newer stuff too. Obviously, everything from Soft Bulletin on, At War with the Mystics, and Yoshimi and all that stuff. Great stuff, phenomenal, very proggy. If you don't know them, check them out. Jennifer and the Anti-Nowhere League. Oh, I love those guys. I'm a punk guy, you know. Back when prog got really bad, and I'm talking about Love Beach and Tormato, maybe a little bit, and then there were 3 really turned me off. I was done. I figured prog was dead and buried, so I had to find something else to listen to. And the Clash, XTC, Talking Heads, The Police, all those bands really got me juiced up. They were doing exciting stuff, new stuff I hadn't heard before, pushing the envelope, all the stuff I used to love about prog. And then prog got terrible. And but then it came back, people. That's why we're here. We are here to celebrate the greatest form of music of all time. And that is absolutely prog rock. But we can talk about other stuff like the Replacements. Yeah, Ma, I forgot to take out the trash. Let It Be, Tim. I'm a big fan of Paul and the boys up there. One of Minnesota's greatest bands. They would be Minnesota's greatest band, except for a little band called Husker Du. Charles Bannister said Howard Jones saved prog in the 80s. Howard Jones has had a lot of really proggy guys play in his band over the years. So, yeah, you saw The Police in 1979. Wow, that would have been awesome. Yeah, Regatta de Blanc came out that year. Easily their best album. I remember I was in a band and we decided, we wanted to play Message in a Bottle, and just learning that opening riff. It sounds so incredibly easy. Man, oh man, I practiced that thing for a week and I never really got it super smooth. And then watching Andy play it live, he's got them fingers, man. He's got guitar player fingers. I do not. This is the reason I never became, a really good guitar player. They're just not long enough, man. They're not good enough fingers. Wish I had some better fingers, man, because, studying classical guitar with some of these people and just seeing the the stuff that they were capable of, and my little fingers, I'm like, I can't do that, man. I Advance Unmasked. Yeah, that was a great album. Andy Summers, Robert Fripp. But let's not forget, Andy Summers was also in Soft Machine. Stuart Copeland was in Curved Air. Heck, he was married to Sonia Christina. So, I mean, that's pretty prog to me. The Police get a 100% prog pass. Plus, you listen to their music. It's incredible. Plus, how many bands influenced Rush, right? I mean, if you're good enough and unique enough and special enough to take Rush off course, they did a total course correct after they heard the Police. That's a pretty good band, right? I mean, to be able to do that, pretty amazing. Holdsworth had good fingers. I think Holdsworth probably did, but whatever, man. That guy's just amazing. But yeah, we're already towards the end of October, so I'm really hoping to get my phone situation taken care of here because we've got a lot of end of the year stuff coming up, right? I want to do a whole big, the top albums of 2022, maybe do the top epics of 2022, song of the year. I got all kinds of stuff planned. MVP, most valuable progger. I'm going to be awarding that. Last year's honors went to the great Mike Portnoy. The year before that, I think I gave it to Kimo Porsti from the Samurai of Prague. So hopefully a non-drummer will win it this year. Yes. He apparently they were together for like 7 or 8 years, Sonia and Stuart. So, another story about Stuart Copeland and the Police. I mean, we all know who Stuart's brother was, right? The CEO of Island Records, and he wouldn't sign his brother's band, so they had to dye their hair blonde and rent a van and tour the U.S. and play in these small, sweaty clubs for like a year and a half before they finally got signed. Thanks, bro. You really didn't do it. You really helped me out a lot. No, you didn't help me out at all. I mean, how did that go? I mean, I don't get it. I understand nepotism's a bad thing, but your brother's Stuart Copeland, man. Jeez, ridiculous. JPL is a really strong nomination. Not only did he complete the Sapiens trilogy this year, but he also just reissued the first Nemo album, totally redone, re-recorded, new artwork. It's amazing. The vinyl comes out early next year. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I've got a list of my potential MVPs. Do I have it here? My book of stuff. I wrote it down in another notebook. I got notebooks full of stuff, but one of them is most valuable progger nomination list. So if you guys have anybody you're thinking about, Greg Spont and the Big Train comes to mind. Being able to keep that thing together in the face of tragedy. I've got a real strong inkling who's going to make most valuable progger this year, but we shall see. Sting looked amazing playing bass in his flight suit. Yeah, Sting and the boys, I love them. When I was sitting in the hotel room last weekend, I went into a little Sting rabbit hole. I went down and listened to everything I could find. I'm a big fan. I just love the Police so much. I am so glad that they only did 5 albums too, because if they would have done a 6th album, it probably would have sounded a little like Sting solo stuff. And I don't think that was the way we wanted to go. But top 25 prog producers, I like that. Post Structuralist Hero. That's a good one. That is a real good one because there's some really, really good people. Have I heard any Gin House? I've heard of Gin House. And I know the Gin Blossoms, but I don't think that counts. So no, I need to put that on my list. Sting and Paul Simon did the tour together. Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. Sting and Peter Gabriel would have been a good tour also, but I think they were asking like $400 a seat. And I'm like, I don't think I can justify that. Now, if it were Peter Gabriel getting back with Steve Hackett and the rest of the boys from Charterhouse School, that'd be a different story entirely. But his album and Play the Ship is amazing. Okay. All right. The Ship. Are we talking about Sting here? because I don't really know. I don't know a lot about Sting's solo career. The first couple albums I bought, and I realized, wow, we're not in Police territory anymore. So yeah, it kind of threw me off. Maybe I need to go back and check them out again. But anyway, yeah, so I am not happy today. This has definitely helped. I really appreciate you guys getting on board here and, playing along with the comments. How about Griffin Winston? Oh, man, I love Griffin. I love everything they've ever done. They've got 2 reunion albums out, Reinvention from 2019, and then something about Get Out of My Dad's Car or something like that from last year. They were both really good, but their 5 albums from the 70s are fantastic. Fantastic. The first one, Midnight Mushrooms, Griffin, Red Queen of Griffin 3, Rain Dances, and Treason, right? Those are the 5. Fantastic stuff, man. I love Griffin. Good stuff. Good band, very cool. But yeah, so like I was saying, hopefully I'm gonna find an old iPhone lying around. I think my wife's mom's got a drawer full. So then I'm going to take my SIM card out of my phone, put it in that one, and hopefully it will reveal a magical text message from Apple that they sent to a dead phone for some reason. Makes absolutely no sense. But hopefully once I do that, I'll get my phone back. And I'm praying that they don't factory reset it where there's absolutely nothing on it, because that would just be a disaster. I would have gotten another phone if that was the case. I wouldn't have been phoneless for 28 days. And I just bought editing software on that phone, so I really do want that phone. I don't want another phone. That's the one that's gotta come back to life. And I'm going to try to make that happen today when I get back to the office. Hopefully my wife's mom, who is also my boss, hopefully she'll have found an old iPhone lying around. I can switch the SIM cards out. Bam, bam, bam. Maybe a miracle will happen. Yeah, you never know. Miracles do happen, according to Grace Slick and the Red Octopus. Can a remaster completely change the perception of an album? And any examples? That's a great question. That is a really good question. I just instinctively, I think the answer is yes. But I need to think of some examples of where that actually came to be. Probably looking at some Steven Wilson remixes and the Beatles too. The Revolver box set just came out. I know everybody's talking about that. I really think they can, because there's so many examples of records that came out and just were terrible or just didn't have the mix right. And somebody mentioned Cheap Trick earlier, and I think back to that awful, awful production job on Cheap Trick in Color, which from a songwriting perspective is probably their best album, but from a production standpoint is absolutely terrible. So Steve Albini years later went back and had them redo it. It's much, much better. I picked up the Animals remix last week, and I've only listened to it like once or twice. And I think it's a big improvement over the original, but I love the original. So, I had no qualms with it at all from the starting point. It's just good stuff, man. Sometimes remixes brush out the imperfections that we love. And it is imperfections that we love. If I wanted perfect music, Steely Dan would be my favorite band. Asia would be my favorite album. It's absolute sonic perfection. Ooh, yeah, it bores me to tears, man. I like blemishes. I like warts. I like pimples. I like it. To me, that makes, stuff personal, and it makes it interesting, and it makes it unique. Yeah, I heard the drums and the keyboards were definitely more up front on the remix, on the 2018 remix. But the one and only time I saw Pink Floyd was on the In the Flesh tour. So I have a very, very special place in my heart for Animals. Just such a great album. I liked Wish You Were Here a lot, but Animals was kind of like, I don't know, that was kind of like my Pink Floyd album, and I just loved it. So yeah, I've been enjoying the remix quite a bit. But yeah. So I am losing my voice from screaming and yelling at Apple all morning. It's not good. It's not good, but hopefully, yes, prayers. We're saying prayers to album review channels in the house. Hopefully, tomorrow at this time, I will have my phone in my hand and I'll be working on doing edits to the 25 greatest prog rock album covers of all time, and or working on Charles Bannister's special request. All kinds of stuff I got to do here on the channel. I mean, I didn't even review the Mars Volta album. But I mean, it's been sitting there on my desk and I've been meaning to do it, but you know, without all my editing tools and everything, it's like, why bother? And that's a horrible place to be. You know, you don't want to be feeling that way. No, no, no. Anyway, so before, listen to that. Before I go completely mute here, let me just take my hat off, shake the hair out. All right, all right, all right. Anyway, hopefully tomorrow we'll be back with some regularly scheduled type of content for you guys. You're whining so much in public. Apple should send you a premium phone. I was thinking the same thing, man. Yeah, the voice is getting really bad. The voice is getting bad. People tend to think that you know, the voice that I do on these videos is some kind of an affect. It is most certainly not. This is the way I talk most of the time. So yeah, when I start screaming and yelling in the phone at some poor Indian woman from Bangalore, it's probably not a good look, and it's probably not doing my voice any good. I should know better. You know, I was a lead singer in a band long enough that I know you got to protect your money maker, and that's what it is right now. Apple does owe me big time. The whole time I was on the phone, I was thinking, man, they really need to give me something free. You know, I'm rocking a iPhone 11. They could give me a 14, man, for everything I've been through. They could do it if they wanted to, but I get the feeling they don't want to, and that's fine because, you know, who am I? I'm just a little guy. And honestly, if they had any idea about how much I've been bad talking, yeah, Foxtrot at 50, you know, that's another episode I was going to be doing. Absolutely. Foxtrot turned 50. Where was an episode on the Prog Corner about it? We didn't do one. Why? Because of this. It's not right. I apologize. But, you know, again, these are first world problems. You know, I need to grow up and realize that, you know, at the end of the day, it's not what's really important. What's important is that I love you guys. I'm here for you. I feel your love back. And that kind of, you know, connection is really all we're trying to do here. So it's all good. I'm not too salty about it. Apple did tell me today that it wasn't my fault and they felt real sorry for all the trouble they caused me. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, 1972 was such a great year that there have been so many great albums turning 50 this year. Absolutely. 72, very likely the best year in the history of Prog. But yeah, so all the anniversaries come and go. And here we are. But anyway, again, I apologize to you, my loyal subscribers, my friends. I apologize for Apple's skullduggery. It's not right what they're doing. It's hurting me and it's hurting you guys. So anyway, I love you. Peace in the Middle East. Have a great day. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow with real content, a real episode of the Prog Corner. Fingers crossed. I love you. Peace out. Yeah.